Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another segment of
Would You Rather?
I can't believe we're winding this series down already. Like, where does the time go?
Only 2 left.
Flies by, today and next week. And then obviously Thanksgiving gets in the middle, but then right around the corner is Advent, and we have up our sleeves an Advent series for you as well. So
Yes.
hang tight. So yes, would you rather? You're going to read your account?
Yep.
I'll read my account, and then we'll ask you guys, what would you rather?
All right, so mine, it comes from Joshua chapter 2, starting at verse 1. And it says, Then Joshua, son of Nun, secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim. Go look over the land, he said, especially Jericho. So they went and entered the house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. The king of Jericho was told, Look, some of the Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land. So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab, Bring out the men who came to you and entered your house, because they have come to spy out the whole land. But the woman who had taken the 2 men and hidden them, and she said, Yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they had come from. At dusk, when it was time to close the city gate, the men left. I don't know which way they went. Go after them quickly. You may still catch up with them. But she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them under stalks of flax that she had laid out on the roof. And then going to verse 15. So she let them down by a rope through the window, for the house she lived in was part of the city wall. Now when she had said to them, Go to the hills so that the pursuers will not find you. Hide yourselves there for 3 days until they return, and then go on your way.
All right, so Rahab. My account comes from Exodus chapter 2, but I'm going to read the last verse of chapter 1. Then Pharaoh gave this order to all his people. Every boy that is born you must throw into the Nile, but let every girl live. Now a man of the house of Levi married a Levite woman, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. When she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could hide him no longer, she got a papyrus basket for him and coated it with tar and pitch. Then she placed the child in it and put it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile. His sister stood at the distance to see what would happen to him. Then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the riverbank. She saw the basket among the reeds and sent her slave girl to get it. She opened it and saw the baby. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. This is one of the Hebrew babies, she said. Then his sister asked Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you? Yes, go, she answered. And the girl went and got the baby's mother.
All right.
Would you rather?
All right, so would you rather be Rahab, hiding the spies, or
Moses' mom hiding him in the river?
in the river?
I almost said Pharaoh, but Pharaoh was the one that wanted to birth the baby. So, baby Moses' mom, which one would you rather be?
This is hard. Like I don't know if I could do the baby, but like we were talking about this earlier, trying to decide which ones we'd rather be. And as you pointed out, like death is the only option for Moses at this point. And so as his mom, you're trying to decide, do I throw him into the Nile or do I throw him in the Nile in a basket?
Yeah, I was going to say that one's hard because either way you're trying to protect your kid. Either way, if you get caught, there's probably the consequence of death, but you're trying everything you can to save your baby. Hiding him at home wasn't working anymore.
Yeah, she hid him for 3 months. She hid him for 3 months and then...
But then she made the basket and put him in the river. Oof. But at the same time, Rahab, I don't know. Because Rahab, did she really have anything to lose? I mean, her life was hard already.
Right.
I mean,
Rahab already had a profession that she was not highly revered.
No. So she struggled with that. So was it a thought of, what do I have to lose? Or, no, this is a way to change my life around, to save people, to ultimately have God save my family, because that's ultimately what happened.
And she's taking the spies at their word, because she's saying, like, I will help you, but then you also have to help me in return. Like, these are the things you're going to promise me. And so
a lot of trust.
There was a lot of trust on both ends. So this is hard. This is really hard. I almost feel like I'd be better at hiding the spies.
I was going to say, and this is one of those things too, where the Bible's written for us now. We weren't obviously in the time of living it, so we know how Moses' story turned out. We know that God used Moses for great things. Obviously, God can use anybody to do great things because I
He
mean,
used Rahab too.
Rahab was a prostitute. It's not like you're saying, hey, by the
And
way.
she ends up being part of the lineage of David.
Yeah.
And then Jesus. So, like, not only does she play a big part in this story, she plays a big part in the story.
The whole Bible.
The whole story. So,
Ooh.
I feel like I'm going to go with Rahab on this one. I'm a scandalous girl.
Yeah. I almost gonna say Moses' mom just so that I can say, like, what was I thinking? How would it play out? Like,
Yeah.
Because clearly, I mean, the time frame makes it seem as if, like, the baby was put in the basket and then all of a sudden he was discovered by Pharaoh's daughter. So, like, it doesn't say how long time had passed. But, like, yeah, were you expecting it to be like, hey, I can just during the day, during the night, like...
Yeah. It's a hard one.
Hide him there forever, sneak down and nurse him that. Like, I'm gonna go with Moses' mom.
Just to be different than you.
Just to be different than you, but also just because I'd like to think that I have that much faith that I could try to hide my son. And even though the decree said, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I guess at that point, the motherly instinct would kick in. Like, yeah,
this is the only possible
this is
means
the only
of
way that
survival.
you're gonna live, so I'm gonna try to hide my baby.
What would you guys do? Which one or would you rather? Make sure you comment or tell us when you see us. We would love to know which one you'd rather pick because this one's hard for us.
This one is. All right, we'll see you next time, guys. Have a good week.